What's good, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to 30 Mins Arsenal with myself and my guy Harry. What you telling me, my bro? You good?
What's up, mate? Oh, good stuff, mate. After that Newcastle game, I am buzzing. You know what? Because the Newcastle game was right before a massive marathon for me too, 42.195K. I nailed it underneath under 3 hours. So I'm
You
feeling
got
good.
yourself,
But
bro.
no, but seriously, thank you so much to Arteta and the boys and the fan base, for making it such a great start to the day. Because over here in Japan, it was 5 o'clock in the morning, so
Mm.
fantastic start to a Sunday. Yes,
Do you know
brilliant.
what?
What a statement.
Well,
Yeah,
we're talking about it. Let's dive straight into Newcastle
yeah,
because obviously it's a brilliant performance on the back of a not so good performance. Obviously, we were
yep.
here last week on the back end of a defeat to Porto, and we were discussing that, and it wasn't looking pretty. But the boys in the Premier League, they look like they're
Mm.
just scoring goals for fun. Newcastle, what can we say about them? I can't say that they were fantastic, and I don't think it's the full strength Newcastle that we're accustomed to seeing because you could
Mm.
clearly see it impacted their game. But I don't think you could take anything away from the way Arsenal picked themselves up from that defeat and push forward.
Oh, bro, that first half. I mean, even before kickoff, the place, Emirates, just had this kind of like
Mm.
Champions League vibe to it. And then
The time
what?
helped as well, Harry. The time helped.
Yes,
Eight
it
o'clock on a
did.
Saturday, it
Eight
helps, man.
o'clock on Saturday night. The atmosphere and the way we kicked off, it kind of reminded me of last season. We kind of flew straight out of the blocks. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Went for the jugular, the press,
Mm.
coordinated by Odegaard, obviously Havertz up front. I loved it, man. I loved it.
Mm.
Seriously, going in for the jugular at an early stage and
Mm.
battering their hearts, battering Newcastle's hearts.
Mm.
Fantastic.
Do you know what? Arteta, he deserves some praise because he did alter the system, he did alter the team a little bit, made a few tweaks from the Porto game, obviously dropping Trossard and bringing Havertz up front and bringing Jorginho into the fold.
Jorginho.
And to be
Jorginho.
fair to Jorginho, man, I've not been a big fan of his. I can't see him being a long-term player for Arsenal.
No,
But for
no.
12
Mm.
million coming in and doing the job he's
Oh,
done,
come
I,
on,
I, I got
mate.
to applaud it, man. He comes in and he does a job. He does a
Just
job.
looking back at that January transfer last year, Caicedo, whatnot, going over to Chelsea and us getting well, Havertz is a different question, but in January, Jorginho, it's like this has given us a new edge over other teams, man. That guy knows what he's up to. And this is a little question I wanted to ask you about Jorginho. Yeah, you know how Arteta brings in Jorginho against Newcastle or against the big boys.
Mm.
Uh, did you agree on him like leaving Jorginho out against Porto, or do you think he was just managing his minutes?
Do you know what? It's a bit of a difficult one because obviously
Mm,
going into that Porto game, we've come off the back of what scoring 11 goals, and
yeah.
sometimes you think as a manager, is it about changing that because they've been flying? Should I fix something that's not broken? Totally
Mm,
understand that. You get me? So I can understand that he went with the same team, but me personally, I've always said I want to see Arteta be pragmatic in certain games, and the Champions League is the place where you need to be pragmatic, especially when you're away from home. So
I.
maybe the likes of a Jorginho could have come into midfield with his Champions League experience and his experience altogether as a player. You know, he's coming towards the back end of his career now. He would have probably sat in there. The game wasn't played at a mad pace, so it would have
Mm,
suited him as well. I think our problem occurred against Porto was I don't think it was more the Jorginho situation because I think we
yeah.
dominated the ball. I think it was more not having Gabriel Jesus because Gabriel Jesus is a player that can unpick and unlock a defense. You get me? And I think we were
Yes.
really struggling against that. But against
Mm,
Newcastle, I agree with it because sometimes you need to have that little bit of knowledge in the middle of the park, a little bit of experience, and
yep.
also it freed Declan Rice to push on a little bit in a bit more of an advanced role, and we've seen a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah, yeah.
something different from
This was
Declan Rice.
fantastic, mate. With any winning, whether it's a Champions
Mm.
League or whether it's the Premiership team, you need a solid midfield and the connection between the midfield two or midfield three, and depending on formation. if you go back into the days of the early 2000s with a Vieira, and whether it was Vieira and Petit or Ray Parlour, whatnot, the connection that Jorginho has with Declan Rice, I like it, and this game
Mm,
against Newcastle, if I believe correctly, Jorginho was like the main anchor man, and then Declan Rice would be allowed to go forward, and which is was a situation vice versa to what we had, I think, against Liverpool, whereby Jorginho was the one in
mm,
front, and Declan Rice was
yeah.
at the back, and sometimes they would just like line up in a two in the middle. But yeah, I like the connection.
Harry,
Yeah,
if you like that connection, just imagine when Thomas Partey comes walking back into this team, because I don't know if you remember or not, but we were all screaming we want to see a midfield trio of Partey, Rice, and Odegaard, and we rarely seen it. We've seen it in a Charity Shield against Man
yeah,
City, Community Shield, should I say rather?
mm.
And I think we've seen it in one other game. But other than that, we haven't really seen that. And I think Thomas Partey, yeah, because Declan Rice has been so pivotal to the way we've been playing this season with
Mm.
Thomas Partey injured, and we've not really missed Thomas Partey that much. I think we've kind of forgot as a fan base of how quality Thomas Partey is, because when he comes
Totally.
back into this team, because he's nearly fit now. Good news is I think it's
Oh,
Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, and Partey, Timber, they're all nearing a return.
yep.
So that's positive news for us. But Thomas Partey, once he comes in and partners up with Declan Rice, bro, that's going to be unbelievable to stop. I'm telling you now.
Oh, I'm drooling, man, with anticipation, because you know what? With the fixture, February, it's not too tough for us for the moment, and going into March, and
Mm,
then back end of March. The shit really hits the fan with March, with the our rivals, whether it's the Manchester derby or whether it's the Merseyside derby,
mm,
and towards, touch wood, we go through the Champions League to the next stage. It's going to be like 3 or 4 days per game, and the fatigue factor, you know how it kicks in towards the
mm,
latter part of the season. Mate, we need these characters back. We need Tomiyasu
mm,
back. Of course, Thomas Partey too, but the Jesus
mm.
situation, I don't know what kind of level fitness he is at, but
But have you not heard? Have you not heard what's been said about Jesus recently over the last couple of days in regards to Arsenal trying to manage his minutes, because obviously he
uh-huh.
still had a bit of fluid around his knee, and I don't know if you
Mm,
noticed, but against Newcastle he didn't come on off the bench even
no,
though he was on the bench, and we had quite a few substitutions. So we're gonna have to wait and see, and I think that's right, because Jesus is a big game player, and we're gonna need him in big games, especially in the Champions
no,
League. He was firing.
yes.
He was firing. So if we can manage his minutes and we could get through certain games without Jesus and do it comfortably, happy days. And for me, obviously, I love Thomas Partey. I want him to stay at the club, but I do have a feeling he will be moving on in
Oh,
the
he's
summer.
going to go at the end, man. I mean,
And
the people who are up for the transfers, and it's probably
mm,
Thomas Partey. Obviously, Cedric's going, no matter what's happening.
mm. Talks
Uh,
about Ramsdale saying he wants to leave now.
Ramsdale, yeah, it's the situation, and then Smith Rowe too.
Mm,
Smith Rowe has to come up with the goods
mm,
towards the end part of the season. Um, it's going, and then I won't be surprised to see like a top world class whatever but a world class player coming in a position that we probably maybe don't
mm,
expect, possibly
mm.
even at the back.
See,
Um,
I think we will get a winger, a top quality winger. I
all
think
right.
Reece Nelson will go out on loan. I think it will help elevate and push Saka, and we'll touch on Saka in a moment as well, because that's what,
Mm.
5 goals in 5 games in the Premier League. I think first
Oh,
player to do that for a long time for us. So we'll touch on him. But in regards to the team, maybe he brought Timber in. Obviously, when Timber came in, he was playing left back. Maybe he brought Timber in knowing Partey is going to end up leaving, and maybe Zinchenko can drop into that
mm,
midfield role alongside Declan Rice.
mm,
So that will then enable Timber to bomb forward, because at Ajax, Timber was very good at pushing forward and attacking.
mm.
And then when Zinchenko needs to drop into that left side role, what Granit Xhaka used to do for us, he could potentially do that. And I think that could work, because Zinchenko's a liability defensively. He's a lot better progressing the ball, and he's a lot better moving the ball forward. Do
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So if that was the case, I wouldn't be too mad at that. Obviously, I would like to keep Thomas Partey in the team. But if we're going to have to move him on and whatnot, I think that could potentially be an option, because if we needed a backup for right back or left back, Tomiyasu's more than accountable to
yeah.
do that. Do you know what I mean?
Mm. And I want to see a bit of rotation when Tomiyasu comes back. I mean, this is coming from a Japanese guy, but with Saliba and Gabriel and being in the middle and being total rocks, it would be good for them to have, a day off just to kind of recuperate, re-energize, because it's going to get grueling in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah.
No, 110%. But look, Bukayo Saka, we have to
Oh,
touch on him. Like I said, 5 goals in 5 games.
flipping
There's been
hell.
all this noise around him and Phil Foden and world class and
Yep,
not
yep,
world
yep.
class and Rio Ferdinand on the plane on a mad thing. And you know what? This boy, it just shows you the level he's at, because he's not let it get to him,
Oh,
and
I love
he's
it, man.
performing week in, week out, man.
Mate, what
Talk to
about
me.
that? What about that goal? Going left, going right, because now you don't know where he's going to go. Against
Yeah.
West Ham, I think it was West Ham, wasn't it? This kind of like signature right foot that he's managed to strike into like the top corner. But this time round, I mean, the ball wasn't even kind of smacked in. It was like almost kind of nestled into like the far corner. It was just beautiful how he conducts his game, his mentality, his approach, and his connection with the other players of the team. He's our fulcrum, but I just don't want him to burn out. So obviously, using Nelson at the right time, very crucial, me reckons.
And you know what, as well, yeah, Harry. You know what makes him so good, yeah, is people know what he's gonna do as well. People
Mm.
know he's gonna cut in on that left foot and he's gonna have a crack, but they can't
Yep.
stop him. And that is a sign of a world class player. And I think if he carries on this trajectory, trust me, he'll definitely be up there, because you got to think Saka's so young with so many minutes, so much experience. He's only going to elevate, and with him being an English boy and being loved as well, the media, everything around him, they will lift Saka as well, and I
Yep.
think that will help him reach a certain kind of stardom. Because look, yeah, Jude Bellingham, English quality, brilliant, but he's over there in Real Madrid, he's in Spain. Down here in England, we need a star boy, you get me? Because at one point Marcus Rashford was coming through on the scene, and people were hyping about Rashford and stuff like that. Do you remember the times when Jack Wilshere was burst onto the scene?
Of course.
So Saka, man, Saka's the next guy. Phil Foden's there, obviously, of course. Bellingham, but I think Saka should be the guy, definitely. One more mention, man. One more mention. We have to move on to him. We have to talk about it, yeah, because Nicholas Jova, the set piece coach, is
Oh,
an absolute magician, man. Magician.
seriously, like who would have expected like a couple of years ago for this Arsenal to be a set piece threat, a set piece
New Stoke City in it,
machine?
for fuck's sake.
Mate, what is going on? Seriously. Like I'm so sure other teams are petrified. They are scared when Arsenal have a free kick, whether it's a corner. I mean, even Declan Rice taking corners, I still just don't get it. But he's got a good delivery. I understand.
Yeah, definitely. He's made a difference since he's
Yeah.
replaced Martinelli taking them corners from that side. He's made a massive difference. And the thing is, yeah, with Declan Rice, he put the ball right on the money, you get me? And I understand we're losing a little bit of height. I understand he's a big lad and we want him in the box. But sometimes if he can deliver that quality, you've got to think we've got a beast in the box in Gabriel. Now, Gabriel is just an absolute monster. This
Well,
guy,
how many goals is that? Is that 14 goals in total since he came to Arsenal as a
I
defender?
think it was the highest scoring defender or something. It's
Oh
mad,
my
isn't it? Like,
God.
he's up there anyway. He's definitely up there. But he's a big lad. Saliba's a big lad. Ben White's a big lad. Kivior's a big lad.
Yep.
Obviously, we've got quite a big team now. Havertz is a big lad. So we have got that threat, that aerial threat, something that we haven't had at Arsenal for a very long time. And you know what? It
Wow.
used to piss me off as well, sometimes, Harry, because when corners used to come in against us, we always used to concede goals at set pieces. Always used to concede because we didn't have the height. Now the tables turned and we're doing a good job. And that Nicholas lad that came from Man City, Arteta poached him from City when obviously he came with us. He clearly seen something in him and he was on the money, man. He was definitely on the money, man.
Oh, it's
He
brilliant.
deserves his praise. And he gets so excited and happy as well when a goal goes in from a set piece. You can see he loves his work. You know what I'm
I
saying?
love it, man. It's just that you see the facial expression that kind of like flows through Nicolas Jova after a set piece goes in,
Mm.
between him and Arteta, and between the Arsenal coaches and even the players, it's like, you saw
Mm.
me at the training ground. I love it, man.
Nah, he's good. He's good. But have we got the squad and have we got the capability to go all the way, Harry? Or are we gonna bottle it like last season? Are we gonna fuck it? Are we gonna fluff it? Or are we gonna actually see it out towards the end? Because it is a three-way title race. I don't think Man
The
City was as good
three-way
as they
title
were
race.
last season, and
Mm, mm,
Liverpool have
mm.
been hit by a lot of injuries, man. So have we got the minerals to do it?
Have we got the minerals? Well, I bloody well hope so. And I think we do, because that experience, the boys really learn a lesson, whether it's that away game against Newcastle that we had this season, or whether it's the whole malarkey that we had towards the back end of last season, and I think we're in a good position. We didn't go out flying like we did last season at the beginning, but this gradual kind of energizing of play and of momentum that we've had since
Mm,
Dubai, I like it. But I
mm,
guarantee you, it's not going to be as smooth as everybody thinks it's going to
mm,
be. There's going to be bits and bobs, bumps here and
mm,
there, and there may be a replay of that kind of bad form that we had towards the back end of Christmas. But trust me, experience is so crucial,
mm.
especially
Now,
going
you know
to
what? That very valid point. Experience is
yeah,
massive, and I think the boys can take a lot from last season. I just hope they don't dwell on last season too much and it affects them in a negative way, which it doesn't
yeah,
seem to be. And you're right. Since the break in Dubai, the boys have come back and we look like how we started off last season.
mm,
We look like a team that's on fire. Yeah, all in all, the Porto defeat disappointing, but we still dominated. We still really done enough to potentially. No, I can't even say we done enough to win that game, but we dominated the game. We wasn't so poor, and we managed to walk away with just a 1-0 defeat, which I would say we're still favourites in the return leg. So
totally.
there has been a different kind of feel to Arsenal since that break.
Mm,
And if we can now get the players in at the right time and keep everyone fit, I think that's going to be the most important thing. I think if we
exactly.
lost the Declan
Mate,
Rice or a William Saliba or even a
oh, whoa,
Gabriel
whoa,
now,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
it's a bit of
because
a
we
bit
all
of
we
an
all
issue there.
remember what happened when we lost Saliba and Tomiyasu in that Europa
Mm,
League fixture. Thinking about Liverpool, I mean, massive hats off to them. Congratulations. But that injury list is just insane, bro. And
mm,
you know how balancing Europa League fixtures and a Premiership kind of attack is, it's just hectic, and it's just
mm,
going to
mm,
take it out of them. So, I mean, uh, I'm just City with their win against Luton, City on their current form. I mean, they're the real big juggernauts in
mm,
my perspective. But
mm.
it's
Yeah.
momentum right now. It's fireworks, mate. Because game after game in the Premiership, we are absolutely kicking ass, big style. However, well, when we're going to have like 1-0s or 2-1s, that's going to be when I'm like, okay, this is decent. This is decent, because those games will arrive.
Nah, 110%. I
Yeah,
do get it. We're going to have to win ugly at times, and that
yeah,
determines a championship winning team. You get me?
mm,
That can get over the line when it's is not going for you. And to be fair to Liverpool, they've actually been doing that this season where they've
yeah,
not been really performing great and they've just been getting themselves over the line or they've been down
mm,
and they managed to get themselves back in the game and win the game. So it does show that in it. And we all know what Liverpool's like in it with Jurgen Klopp
sure,
last season. They're going to be
of
pushing
course.
hard. City are going to want that four-peat and Pep is going to be pushing hard. And Arteta obviously is going to be so much disappointment from last season. He's going to want it, and he's going to want it more than anything, probably. You get me? And
Yeah,
that's what I like. I want a manager with hunger. I want a manager with desire. Somebody that's good,
mm,
not ready to just rest on the laurels. Somebody's not ready that's just to sit back and say, you know what, second and third, I'm all right with that. I want to go for the league. I want to sign the best players in Mbappe. The things that he says, I like. You get me? But you now got to
mm,
like make sure you get us over the line, because it will come to a period where if you can't get us over the line, we will have to definitely be looking at different managers. So this current crop of players don't go to waste, or this current crop of players don't end up leaving Arsenal, because we've seen it time and time again where great players at Arsenal have left because we haven't been really winning the big stuff, big honours.
Yep.
We're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna have to wait and see. But people that are watching this, yeah, please make sure you smash a like on the video and
Yes.
subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. It is free of charge, and obviously, if you're watching, it just makes sense to do it. Show man some love because we come here, we try to bring you some content every week. It's free in it, but we appreciate if you do so. Mudryk, Mudryk, have you heard what's been going on, Harry? Have you heard what's been going on? There's a potential chance
What?
Arsenal might be looking to go back in for Mudryk and
What?
swipe him from Chelsea. Have you not been hearing
Says
the
who?
news and all the
Says
rumours?
who?
Go on
What?
Google Mudryk. Just type him in and you see.
No,
He's all
surely not.
over, bro. He's all
This
over.
must
I
be
thought,
some kind of Daily Mail, Sun kind of bullshit. No?
yeah, it can't be real. You get me? But what would
Oh,
you think if Arsenal went in for a Mudryk after everything that happened?
what, for how much, man?
This is
How
it, bro.
much?
This is it. He can't be worth much now, can he?
I kind of sympathize with the guy because he really wanted to join Arsenal.
Mm,
And they haven't been able to develop him down at Stamford Bridge at all. He's got something amazing about him, right? It's not just the speed. He's got some skill there, but his final delivery, his connection with the rest of his team. Yeah, I think those are jewels badly spent for Chelsea, and it's not just
mm,
Mudryk. I
mm.
mean, don't get me going on about Chelsea because, mate, it's all chaos down over there. Yeah.
Do you know what? Obviously I know it's 30 mins Arsenal, but we will touch on a few other teams, obviously in and around us as well, i.e., Man City and Liverpool, because it does affect us.
Uh-huh.
But in regards to the situation around,
What were mate Prems? The Athletic have reported
yeah,
this
Mudryk, man,
situation.
bro, I'm telling you, it's madness. Everyone's
What?
reporting it. It's mad.
Jeez.
But I don't think it's true, man. I don't think it's true, bro. I'm telling you, I don't think it's true. It
Yeah.
can't be
Okay.
true. It makes no sense. Obviously, there's been reports coming out saying as well that Mudryk he contacted Arsenal and was more or less begging for Arsenal to try to interject into the deal so he didn't have to go Chelsea and was crying and upset and that he couldn't get over the line with Arsenal. So obviously he looks like he must really like Arsenal and potentially his agent could be speaking to the club saying, look, maybe we could get a price knocked down. And you got to think Chelsea are going to be looking at it as well. They might cut their losses. They might take a little bit of a price
Oh,
cut because the
they
the
need to
wages on him
sell,
and
man.
the length
They
is mad.
need to sell big time because those regulations are going to hit them hard at the end of the season. Surely.
I don't want him though. I don't want him. I think he's shit, man. I tell you, I've seen what I've seen of him, bro. It ain't anything good. You get me? It ain't anything good. If you come to Arsenal, I'll support him. But, bro, it's not for me. If you really wanted to come to Arsenal, you could have come to Arsenal, lowered
Mm,
your wages, done something. You get me to push that move over in it, or
yeah.
said to your parent club, look, I ain't trying to move to Chelsea. There's only one place I want to go, accept that fee and take it, and that's it. So for
Mhm.
me, he wanted the money in it, so we could go and get fucked in it. I don't want to see him at my club. I'll be honest with you. I think
Mm,
that
mm,
time's
mm,
done for him now. Honestly, it's done. It's done.
mm,
But look,
mm.
let's quickly touch on Man City now because obviously we are going to be playing them in a
Yep.
few weeks. To be fair, I think we've got Sheffield United
Yes.
away. We got Brentford, Porto, and then we've got Chelsea and then City. Now,
Mm.
I think Sheffield United. Obviously, I'm not trying to disrespect any team, but really and truly, we should be absolutely spanking them.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
Yep.
think Brentford at home. Yeah, we should be spanking them. I think what are they 16th in the table or something mad like that. They're not really
Yep.
having a
Struggling.
great time.
Mm.
Porto, this is where shit gets real. You get me
Yep.
because we have to win that game, man. And I firmly believe we will. I think the atmosphere and the crowd in the Emirates on the night is going to be electric. I'm in two minds whether to go to that game as well. You know, I've been mad busy and been thingy, but
Oh,
I might end up making an appearance. I'm gonna have to wait and see.
really? Are
But
tickets even available? You're going to be able to.
I'll try to figure it in it, but I'll have to
Right.
pay a
Okay.
top whack. It's just I think it's on the 16th. Is it on the 16th?
It
What date is
should
it
be.
on? I can't remember what date it's on. But anyway, I'm thinking about maybe going to that game. And then after that,
Mm.
Chelsea and City, man, two big games. Look, Chelsea, we played them and they fucking drew against us. And really, we should have been giving them a hiding. So we can't take them lightly either. And if we win that game up until the Man City game, bro, I'm telling you now, nothing says that we can't go and beat Man City at their ground. I
Mate,
don't think Man City are the same Man City.
I totally agree. And that sense of kind of fear that we used to have over even Liverpool and City, just going away and getting absolutely smashed to shreds, it just doesn't exist. People may say that our victory against City early on in the season with that Martinelli deflection was like a fluke. Hell fucking no. It's going to be all guns blazing, and I'm confident we're going to get a result away at City. Going back to the Porto game, mate. It's on the 12th of 12th of March, mate. 12th of March. It's a
See,
Tuesday
because
night.
City still have to play us and Liverpool in it. We don't. We just have to play City. Liverpool just have to play City. So really, City. If City come through, if City beat us and beat Liverpool, then I think it's going to be looking slim for both of us. I think if Liverpool could take a draw off him and Arsenal could take a draw off him, and one team can win, then I think it's going to hot up even more, because the last 10 games, we all know what Man City's like, innit? They're just a machine. They'll steamroll every team. And now De Bruyne is going to be coming back into full fitness and so on. It's like these guys are going to be ready to go. But the Champions League as well, I don't think that's going to be an easy task for City. And I think the way they're moving, they can't challenge on all fronts, in my opinion. Yeah, technically they can, but I think last season took a lot out of them.
Mate, Premsy, you're not mentioning the Manchester derby. Do you have zero hope for Man United getting a result against Man City?
Bro, I always got fucking zero hope for Man United these days, yo. These man are shit, you get me, bro? I'm telling you. I swear, you know what it is? I hate United, innit? So I'm one of them, yeah, where I want fucking anybody to beat United on the day, you know what I mean? City or not, title race or not. Nah, but they need to do us a favour. I do get it. There is a potential chance that they can lose points there. But really and truly, I just don't think United have enough to beat City. Maybe they could get a draw. I don't think they have enough to beat him.
Yeah, they were on a bit of a run towards the back end of late, but with Højlund out, against Fulham, they completely threw it to shreds, man. Mate, you wouldn't guess who I was having an interview with yesterday. Do you remember a Japanese player who so-called played for Arsenal before Ryo Miyaichi, called Inamoto? Do you remember Inamoto Junichi?
I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember him vividly. But I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
So I worked with him yesterday, and
was that on the J League?
You what? Is Inamoto in the J League? No,
was that the J League? What the work that he was doing?
This was an interview and an ad for a whiskey brand yesterday that I had, and he was talking to me about Arsenal and his love of the club, and how maybe he should have stayed on for a year, because he was offered that contract to stay on for a year after the World Cup. We're talking about 2002 World Cup, 22 years ago, when Japan and Korea hosted, yeah? And Inamoto scored against Belgium, scored against Russia. He was a bulldozer of a midfielder, a bit like Declan Rice, And he came into Arsenal. He didn't manage to get a game, but then he goes over to Fulham, scores a hat-trick, and he was just telling me the love of this game, and how he watches Arsenal quite a lot.
Is he still an Arsenal fan then?
Yes, mate. He loves it.
Once a gooner, always a gooner. You get
and also Ryo Miyaichi. I'm meant to be having dinner with him fairly soon. He was telling me, like, he watches the game quite competitively. Yeah. And Ryo plays for Yokohama F. Marinos, which is one of the best.
Do you know what the maddest thing is, Harry? I always used to buy him, on career mode. So, for example, on FIFA back in the day, when he joined Arsenal, I didn't always used to play with Arsenal. I used to go to the lower leagues like Darlington or someone really shit, to try to get up. And I'd always sign him each because he was rapid. You used to get him, put him on the wing, bro, and he was gone. You know what I mean? It's mad. It's mad. But look, Harry, we have come to the end of the show. It has been a brilliant show. I just want to say thank you very much for your time. People that are locked in, appreciate your time. Like I said, smash a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. And look, we're going to be pushing over to Sheffield. So hopefully the Arsenal could do the job. Come on, you Gunners. Let's fucking
come on, Arsenal. Come on.